Hey everybody, it's Chance here with yet another episode of Pathologic. Last time we started the Changeling route, and we woke up in a graveyard, and our fate will be realized quite soon. It is interesting how many people are kind of aware from the get-go that Clara, or someone who looks just like Clara, killed Gregory. From what I'm thinking currently, and it seems like it's Clara is saying it's her twin sister, but we also have like an internal thought that she has when talking to Alexander about how she's lying. So it's obviously a little more complicated than that. We haven't really gotten into it before, really, and like there is definitely more hints or ideas about it in the Haruspex route as opposed to Bachelor. Um, yeah, so basically, um, we started the first day, which kind of focuses on us kind of proving that we are a miracle worker. Um, we kill a child? Question mark. It's the child that you can that has traded the souls into halves and annoyed Bad Grief in his game. Um, During the beginning of Haruspex route, where Capella tells Haruspex, "Hey, don't do anything there if you have a choice. Like, don't make a bad decision here." Um, which helps you get your reputation up, which I think is really important. But in this version of events, our good friend here, Artemi um, did attack the child, but didn't kill the child. It seems that Clara did the final blow type thing, but he was also like dying. I do think it's a little more complicated than that, and I do think the game is interested in interrogating that. It is also very, very interesting to me that kinda. It's interesting playing Bachelor and Changeling route because they are definitely not like the end all be all, but the things where their routes are similar versus Haruspecht's routes that's different is very interesting to me as well. Um, I enjoy thinking about a story with an unreliable narrator, especially when each of your three perspectives are unreliable and there's a version of events that goes on here, and I don't think again. I think I've mentioned this before on prior episodes, but where the goal isn't to necessarily like solve what is happening here, but it is a story about stories, and therefore you are intrinsically going to be harbored by biasy and the performer's choice in how they choose to play. Um, but that being said, I don't really have anything fancy. We have some new quests to do, some side quests. We've done the main quest.
Yes.
I feel that you were sent to us by destiny itself. Alexander has tasked me with finding out the truth about Simon's death from Gregory. It makes me feel uneasy. But why would he give you so difficult a task, my child? He is well aware that the Kynes, blinded by fury, are looking for the mysterious man-eater who supposedly murdered Simon. In their anger, they are missing the obvious. But such is the family's way. Even our protections may be of no use. The truth will speak for itself. They won't dare hurt me. I suppose. Perhaps. But Gregory will never speak to you, will he? Or do you wield such power over people as to make him talk? No, I have no such power. But cunning will become a solution where power can't. If you help me, I can make him answer some questions. And how will you find out the truth? How will you make him reveal it? I would call a person by their real name twice and say the words, such and such, I know of you this. Will you agree to touch me? To brave the depths? To answer my questions candidly and without prejudice? If the answer is yes, then it's done. Why, I know of you this. It feels a part of the phrase is omitted. It is. I really have to know a secret about someone, about a person, which would be stun them to hear. But the secret must be true, of course. For example, you can say, Anna, oh Anna, I know of you this. You've kidnapped a child. What's that supposed to mean? Why did you say that? That's just an example. Do you know of any secrets concerning Gregory Kine? Yes, I will teach you. First of all, call him Judge. Do not call him Gregory at first. The Kines are clever and he may immediately become suspicious. If you want to stun him with a secret, try to say, You never loved Simon, and you are no twin of his. He will be taken aback. Thank you. Thank you. But it is not of Gregory that you should be wary. I feel that the Kines plot was conceived in a different mind. It all comes from Maria, who is about to challenge my position of mistress. But do not even think of approaching her yet. She is very dangerous. Your formula will not work on someone who has mistress's abilities. All right, I'll follow your advice. The Crucible, the residence of the Kines. For some reason, thinking of this place, I begin to shudder and my feelings wander between fear and anger. Gregory is here. A terrifying ordeal lies ahead of me. I will have to show my power to Gregory Kine, the brother of Simon, who was murdered by someone unknown. I will get Gregory's consent, question him in a way that I alone can question people, and the truth will reveal itself. Wonder, can I... Okay, so I don't have my bound yet.
You are a herald. You've been brought here by fate itself.
Now look here. Since you are holding the threads of life in your wondrous hands, I am going to entrust you with several people. They are all wicked people. Their souls are black as soot. Each one of them is either an avowed evildoer or hiding a sinister secret. You must take care of them. Of course I will care for all of them. After all, who's in more need of care than those rejected by everyone? They'll get their own chance to serve a good cause too, won't they? Trust me, I know. I can see into the future. The sinners who I now name will be of use to you in due time. In what way I know not, but I know that they will be. The likelihood is fairly great, so make sure that they live, unless you should see it more fit that they die. Is this agreed? Agreed. If I'm able to do it, that is. And now hear me. All I have told you is between you and I alone. Don't say a word about anything. Most importantly, keep it from my husband. All right, have it your way. Whatever happens, these people must live. Their fates are bound to mine. They may as well hold the keys to the victory in my hands. Bad Grief, Slanislav Rubin, Aspedy, Yulia Yuricheva, Anna Angel, Alexander Sabarov, Katerina Sabarov, Sabarova, Lara Ravel, and the foreman of the abattoir, William.
My eyes look just like buttons, don't they?
Who are mistresses? Women who weave time into threads of power. They let power go through them, and then let the threads back out. Even as men are building a town from wood and stone, mistresses weave its soul from intangible substances. The joys and sorrows, the epiphanies and the lethargies, the feelings, inspirations, that is the yarn the mistresses spin. How did they appear? There was a time when each of the head of the three families brought into his house a woman of supernatural powers. The first one was Victor Kine, Simon and Gregory's brother. He had lived in the capital when he was very young. Matters concerning the running of his estate had been the pretext for his leaving, but in truth, he was attracted by something entirely different. Namely, I am not in a position to tell you at this point. Because of the connections he had made in those circles, he became acquainted with one Nina Lilich, a bright, refined, devilish aristocrat who fell for Victor for some reason, and brought her here in this faraway corner of the steppe. And what happened then? It turned out then that Nina was harboring plans concerning this place, and the Kind's elders, Gregory and Simon, had certainly impressed her. To put it briefly, Nina became the ruler of this land. I was only, 15 at the time. Yes, Nina died 11 years ago. Where did her power lie? It is impossible to describe. It is beyond the mind to grasp. She emanated a demonic passion. She inspired those around her and radiated the faith of the limitless of human capacities. Those who were near her were blinded by that faith. She was the source of many a horrific and brilliant idea. Then Victoria came along. Was she like that too? No, she was completely different. For Nina, human lives were tools, while Victoria protected them. I think that's why Big Vlad Oglemitsky had brought her here. He had married her a long time ago. But she and her son, Vlad the Younger, who was very small at the time, used to live far away, somewhere in the eastern region. And what happened then? When did she come here? Each of the three families had been professing its own version of truth for many generations. Each family had embodied the power of a single color, and each is trying to refashion the world in its own likeness. It is good that the antagonism between the families prevents any single power from gaining the upper hand. We are building a town together, all of us, and rebuilding it through the opposing of each other. Then what about the mistresses, Nina and Victoria? Yes, their conflict had raged over the town for a long time. Peaceful, invisible to the ordinary people, but no less furious for it. Nina was striving to get a place where no human being is allowed, and dragging her followers along, believing that her goals justified their suffering. Victoria protected the people from her, sculpted the very flesh of the town, for as long as she was alive. Is she dead too? She is. Mysteriously, they are both survived by daughters. Nina bore Maria, and Victoria had little Victoria, who are children called Capella. Both girls were orphaned at an early age, and grew up to manifest the abilities. There is a young mistress growing up in each of the families. So you have a daughter too? You're also like that, aren't you? The third one, the youngest mistress in the town, and the only one as of now, is myself, the only mistress without an heir. Everything has its limits in this world. Everything is balanced. Woe is me. But you and I will discuss that later. Fine, as you wish.
I need.
Alright, so gotta pop down to Notkin. Pop over to Gregory. Let's go this way and then down. I wonder who will provide the map, like the infected map. Maybe Alexander. Maybe Mad Grief, actually. He feels more appropriate, honestly speaking. Hello. Maybe later. I think I can get a revolver, but I don't want to waste anything until I can confirm that, you know? I'm getting hungry. Do I have any money? Not yet. But I think if we do this side quest, we should be getting some money, hopefully, and then we'll use that to buy some food and go from there, kind of thing. What time is it? 10 o'clock, we're good. Oh, I should have. Oh, I don't have money. I'm like, oh, I should have bought something. Can't. I don't have the money to buy anything. I know you. You're Clara. They also call you the Changeling. Well, since we already know each other, how about we trade? Ooh, I can get some Metadorm right from the get-go. Bing. That will be useful for me later. Where is everybody? Both Dogheads and Souls and a Halves were here just a sec ago. Did you scare them off? Hey, don't you come closer. And hello to you too. So, you are a tough guy, aren't you? Well, how's it going? Yesterday, a Schmauder cache was plundered. Heard about that? And the formulas are retrievable. The only thing we can do is search for the ones that are left. Get it? Maybe it's because you were the mildew yesterday, too. I'd rather take a look at what you have. Perhaps it was you there yesterday, not me. Let's check. I don't have anything, though. Will you play with us? How will we barter instead? Alright. Lots of kids. Alright. Let's go talk to Gregory, and then go to Notkin, and then see what else this first day has to offer for us. Good morals and good luck are a great help in managing a small community without resorting to violence. Personal standing can work wonders. I don't think I can relate to that. Alright. We're gonna do what, we're gonna do what Katarina says and not talk to Maria. I'll get my opportunity to talk to everyone soon, I bet. But it's gonna take a little bit before then. Yeah, no. Victor would probably be very hesitant. And he's a smart man, so like we wouldn't be able to tell, but I don't think he would.
Hopefully, Vlad will call Ripper's bluff. The murderer claims to be Burak's son.
What is this now? Here's an unexpected visitor indeed. I can't believe what I'm seeing. My name's Clara. I just wanted to... You do look like a regular human being on the outside. Yeah, I'd like to help, if my help is needed here, of course. I can work miracles. That is not uncommon around here. Do you know that a person greatly resembling you in appearance is wanted for murder committed by supernatural means? So it must be my twin sister. I followed her into this town.
I feel almost nothing.
I must say, if it were up to me, I'd have had you executed without further ado. You owe your life to the bachelor, in a way, for he told us that although there is little doubt that you were the changeling spawned by the steppe, the shape you assumed when you visited upon him was unexpectedly uncharacteristic of any demon he knows of. What are you talking about? You laid your hands on a mortally wounded man and brought him back to life, calling on the holy power to bear witness. Your demeanor was, so they say, like that of a miracle worker or even a saint of sorts. Is this so? I can only bring goodness into this world. Such is my nature. All the same, I don't believe you. Besides, you claim to have an evil twin. So which one of you is the real one and which is the changeling? I've done the honest thing and come before you, so you can see for yourself. Why have you come to me, fearsome child, posing as a miracle worker? I wanted to tell you something about your brother Simon. Is that what, or do I want to ask you about Simon? I don't know. What one do I want? Is that so? Very well, I will lend you my ear. But no sooner have you than you have met Maria, my niece. I'll let her look at her with your own two eyes and tell me that you are, who you are, and how should I treat anything you tell me. All right. Where will I find her? Here lies the fearsome Maria Kaina. I can't avoid seeing her now. Why did I ever come to this place? The road of Gregory's desolate heart lies through Maria's bedroom. Why is my own heart beating so hard? As if Maria will see through me and discover something I myself have no awareness of. How scary. Alright.
He's very smart, this bachelor. He'll find the murderer before nightfall.
Your face looks familiar. Perhaps you've seen my sister. We look exactly like each other. I know who you are. I just can't quite get a grasp of your essence. Where people have a soul, you have a black pit. What name you have chosen? What name have you chosen for yourself? I've chosen the name Clara, same as my sister's.
Why can't I move on my own?
What is it? Gregory advised me to seek your counsel, Maria, on whether I'm worthy of asking him questions. Why should I? He wants to know how dangerous my supernatural abilities are. Your abilities? Fine sort of mistress. Let me take a look at you then. Let me listen to you carefully. What is he getting so nervous about? I don't know. He demanded that I be examined by you. How touching. Since when has this place become a hospital reception room? An elderly doctor sending a patient for examination. Shall I write you a prescription? I guess there's no need. Just say the words. I'll let him know. I suppose I was too quick to laugh at you. Let me see. You seem as though you were two people. You are a walking lie. But you shouldn't be killed yet. Everything depends on how this data ends. And I'll have them tell Uncle to talk to you. Let him answer your questions. Goodbye, Maria. What was it, for goodness sake? I fail to understand something, and my ineptitude leads me right into their trap. Was it her that instilled such terror in me? Away with the doubts. Gregory is waiting.
There's more life in me that...
I can feel you're a menace, child. You're not like us.
So, my dear guest, Maria wishes to say that. Maria has already said all that she wished to say. Don't be surprised. You wanted to ask me something, did you not? Feel free to ask. Gregory, oh Gregory, I know this of you. I know you of this. I know of you this. You didn't like Simon, and you were no twin of his. Will you agree to touch me? To brave the depths? To answer my questions candidly and without prejudice? Ask away. Do you know who murdered Simon? No. Are you sure he was murdered? No. Do you believe that I'm not the murderer? No. Why do you suppose I'd kill him? No human being could have killed Simon. He was killed by a creature of supernatural powers. And you want to know what the creature looks like? No. I want to know what power it wields. And now, to answer my final question. Will any of the kinds benefit from this death? No. None of us would be able to advance and sustain the town Simon did. The way Simon did. And if his death was not a tragic accident but the ruling of some remorseless law, it'll mean that our family's entire cause has been condemned. The town will perish. Sleep. Poor old man. Let some sleep soothe him at least a little. My heart is beating something horrible. How could something this terrifying ever happen? I can go back to the rod now. I hope we get more of those kind of sequences. That was very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't want to talk to me anymore after that, though. I'm curious. Are there necessarily any consequences to be spoken of during those things, or not at all? Well, gotta collect what we can now. Anything interesting? One lockpick, and I don't really use the lockpicks. So maybe I should. It's I don't have any money. But also, I've never really, like, snuck into someone's house. And what if it falls? The tower with its fragile stem, all those unusual structures. I'd rather the working districts were fenced off. Don't you like the polyhedron? No, of course I do. It's wonderful. But the more children gather there, the more anxious I feel. It's so shaky. And my girl is spending all her time there. Do not worry. It is more stable than most buildings in this town. Alright, let's go meet up with Notkin. Hello. Sore, oh how sore I am. My throat and my eyes are burning with sand. The ground underneath me is crumbling. I'd give anything for a drop of water. I'll give all my water to you. And you, can you give me something to stop the bleeding? I'm injured, you see. Better start stocking up now. We're gonna need it. It doesn't really matter which way we go, to be fair. Oh, got some more twire. Probably can store something in Katarina's house. Yeah, might as well take the short routes while we have the ability to, because very shortly we won't be able to. I'm like so used to doing certain movements because it helps me avoid the plague as much as I possible. But I don't need to do that right at this moment, at least. I think it usually always starts in the same place as well. It's when it gets later on in the game where it becomes really unruly. So we have time, we have space. I'm not really worried about it. Heyo.
How do I fix my legs?
I haven't seen you here before. What district are you from? None. I'm a stranger here.
They screwed my foot up. I can't walk on my own now.
Keep close to our lot. Do you like wild beasts, like wolves or cats? I do. I like people too.
I think Shabnaka deer is for real. But how do you spot her?
Do you see a man calling himself the Ripper? Ugh, he's been here all right. A right scary husky fellow, that one. No idea what got into his head to come over. I sure hope I've seen the last of him. Why? Well, it's a nasty story, that scoundrel. Lika has committed a low virility, sold us out just about everyone out there. The thieves, dogheads too, and then poisoned a friend he robbed and ran away. I was so angry, so I said the rascal deserves to be killed. Angry as hell. And along comes this bloody Haruspex, out of nowhere. And so he killed the boy? He said, I'll do the job. I like it a lot when business gets bloody. I'll find that scoundrel of yours, he said, and if I see that he deserves death, I'll cut him into little pieces right on the spot. I don't know what possessed me to agree, but I did. And you're regretting it now? There. How did it come about at all that such words escaped your lips? I don't know what to do with myself now. If I could only bring him back, the scoundrel, just to think I gave him the right to decide if he should live or die. Don't cry. Be firm. Someone has to decide this. But perhaps he's left the traitor alive after all? I'm not afraid not. Leica's not the type to make an impression of a creature deserving to live. And they say some young lad's been killed by the station. The description matches. Don't despair. The Haruspex has spared him. I know that for certain. How do you know? His death was inevitable. Higher powers killed him, not you. He wasn't a boy at all, but a real monster. So don't blame yourself. It doesn't matter to me anymore what side the Haruspex will take. 3 times in a single day I saw his fate decided. Condemned by one, set free by another, and then assisted by destiny itself. Behold, though, how much suffering it has brought. And let's go talk to Bad Grief, as well, because he was mentioned, and while it is not marked off on the map, he is one of our bound, so we might as well go before the districts get bad. It is so strange being in this space.
Yeah, I sleep when I'm dead.
Oh, we've heard an earful about you here, we have. Some thief you are. Hasn't it occurred to you, little tot, that taking your leave right now is not going to be an easy job, or even doable at all? Why, I did think of an exit strategy beforehand. Do you have a soul, thief? Now that's a question I hadn't expect. Smart thief, you. I'll surprise you many times yet, thief.
Whoa. Isidor's son has proven himself. Not a man to be trifled with. A villain, a kindred spirit.
Ain't that a brave little tot? Look, she ain't afraid of me. Fancy that. This one isn't afraid of me either. Not that it counts for much since he's too dumb to be afraid. It's so interesting. Oh, tiny. Well, I don't have any money, so I can't help you. Bye. Alright. Interesting. Excuse me. By habit, I went toward Ruben. I have no reason to meet him yet. I mean, I could probably say hi, but I feel like it's... I don't know. I feel like the game becomes more interesting when you wait on the game itself to, like, provide an excuse for you to meet a character. I think there's something more interesting being done there. We'll get to talk to everybody every day soon, but until then, I'm just seeing if Nokken has any more dialogue, 'cause I'm not sure.
Where's my cat again?
Okay. Alright, let's see if maybe the rings I have are worth something, maybe. It's like costs nothing. This costs nothing. It's incredible. I mean, now's the time to buy... Oh, because I'm stupid. Okay. I'm just dumb, and I'm just clicking buttons for no reason. Okay, let me just sell one of these hooks. Alright, cool. Bye. Alright. Let's eat some food. Perfect. Alright, so now let's go talk to Anna and Alexander, and then... well... figure out things from there. Oh man, she is tired. I should buy some coffee beans. I'll go to the Stomatons. Is everyone gone? Everyone's gone.
The paint is peeling off me. So ugly.
I want to go back. How in the world did I end up in a place this remote? I found out everything. Turns out you're an odd one, Anna. And so? Well, the horror specs let the homeless boy go. Oh, thank goodness. But perhaps he didn't do it out of the kindness of his heart, did he? Quite likely not. It must have been a calculated move. He was afraid that another murderer would make his existence in his town impossible. And this Notkin, don't you think he's a little cutthroat? It's good that he and his friend Casper aren't in a feud, or they have gotten to us by now. Now, Ta, explain to me why you're so afraid of circus performers. How come? Although, you are a kind girl, aren't you? I suppose every cloud has a silver lining. You know, I'll tell you one of my secrets, but be hush-hush about it. Children are the root of evil in this world. How come? I can't tell you yet, but I will later. So many things are mixed up here. One doesn't know how to... One doesn't know who to fear more. So you're with the Sabarovas now, right? Good. You'll be safe with them, and the children won't hurt you. Here, I've got a present for you. Now, Anna, there's no need. You know what you're doing. I'm glad to have helped you. A gallery of hideous portraits. It's as though the men, women, children, and freaks of nature are trying to be more evil than their nearest neighbor. What should I do with them? Will I always be confronted with choice this terrifying?
Why is he interrogating the Bound, that big city snake?
All right. She gave us some money. Yahoo! Alright, so now let's get some coffee beans, because we're gonna need them for damn sure. Hello. Monk. Alright. I forgot the store is here. I should grab everything while it's still so cheap. I will be glad for it later. Oh, let's go to the clothing store as well. Oh yeah, and Sticky is over here somewhere. We'll talk to him. We'll have a reason to talk to him soon, I bet, too, so I'm not super worried about it. Let's see if we can get any relatively cheap clothing before, again, it skyrockets. Nope, nothing really yet. Okay. Worth a shot, you know? Well, let's check the medication too. That's also probably not going to be available. That kind of... The high levels it gets to doesn't really become into effect until a little later. Yeah, it's just Metadorm and the beta tablets.
I will restore the order here, rest assured.
I've talked to Gregory. He answered my questions. Have you heard the news about the plague already? The Bachelor has found the real murderer. An epidemic is spreading in the town. The Kinds will not be happy with this turn of events. So tell me one thing. Did Gregory know what his brother and patron died of? No. He's convinced that no natural cause could have possibly ended his brother's life. He's sure there's a murderer, however indirect their methods may be. I see. Sounds typical of him. Here's what all of it means. I am going to talk with the Bachelor. Now that the murderer has been found, no one will dare continue the search for the man-eater. For a while. But the Kinds will not abandon their version so easily. And there is another danger. The mob. A danger to whom? To you, Clara. Or to more specifically, your sister. If the epidemic does begin, and I see that nothing could prevent that, the search for Simon's killer will very soon turn into the one who caused the outbreak. If I remember correctly, you said your sister is still somewhere in the town. I suppose she is. And she is indeed your twin? Are you impossible to tell apart? Yes, that's truly how it is. It is possible, it is not, that she was the one who brought the disease into our... Is it possible, is it not, that she was the one who brought the disease into our town? Would you like to look for her? I'll devote all my time to this. You mean all your spare time? Do you not realize how precarious your position is still? You have been cleared in my eyes, but people, both the commoners and the bound, will require other evidence. What more evidence do they need, and how much of it? We shall see. Tonight, Katerina and I are going to talk about you. Tomorrow we shall state our will to you, and if everything turns out well, tomorrow you may already be helping me to restore justice and mete out their retribution. What destiny Katerina foresees for you, I cannot tell. In the meantime, rest. Take the small bedroom upstairs. See you tomorrow. I'm so glad it was you who gave me shelter. You'll see how it'll pay off in the future. Yippee! It is as if a shroud fell off his eyes. However humble I am, it's impossible not to witness the brilliance of the power that marks me. I am a healer, well versed in the mysteries of the human heart. Almost a prophet, as every sign confirms. But what am I to do with this gift? Oh, hell yeah, I forgot we got to meet the rat prophet. I hope anyway. Perfect, so I'm just going to throw this in there, because I'm not going to really use it. I'll leave that. Don't really know what to do with it, to be honest with you. So what can I really use Tire for? I'm going to leave it in there until I'm sure, just because I don't know. Alright, let's get to Sleepy. Let's try to kill. Let's get some food in us, and let's try to kill some ruffians. What time is it? 1900. We still have 4 hours of the day. Got things done relatively quicker. I think I am just gonna sleep though, because judging from the spoiler 3 walkthrough I'm looking at, it does say that the reputation will drop, so if you have nothing to do, it is just better to sleep. So let's just sleep for 4 hours. You are the only one who can do it, sister of mine. Who can trickle through a tiniest crack, crawl through a barely visible hole? It is almost as though you would seep through the pores in the human skin. It is as if you were not a human being, but a nectar-sweet moisture of volatile spirit. How is this even possible? People trust you, that's how. Have no fear. Go where you will, and nothing will touch you. Speak your mind, and no one will reject you. Hear them out, and nothing will evade your attention. There is but one question I want to ask. What is it that you do to make people love me less and less, trust me less and less, even when I'm asleep? Whenever you answer me, remember I love you more than anything, and I will never be angry with you. Here I am. Take my hand.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
All right. Let's go see our first theater performance. See if we can kill some ruffians. Oh, that's just a normal guy. Okay, just some normal guys. Okay, no criminals out and about right now anyway. Let's check all the way around, because I know sometimes over here, I don't check these a lot. Oops. I'm doing bad. Okay, let's try again. Alright. There we go. There's some money in our pocket. Yahoo! Alright. If only, right? Well, then you can catch me over here. Okay. Alright. Okay, that one's fair. What time is that? I have time. I might as well kill. If it goes really bad, I'll deal with it, but I don't know.
Oh!
Okay, I have to use my psionic powers. Hello, ma'am. Can you please fix my clothing? Oh, I don't have any clothing. Oh, that's just a guy leaning over. Okay. My reputation is pretty good. Let's watch the performance. It's only 1 a.m.
Today, the killer was identified. Its nature turned out to be completely unexpected.
The enemy is found and named. It's called the Sand Pest. The contagious plague is threatening to ruin everything here.
How can a killer like this be punished? How can a villain like this be struck?
He can't. It's impossible. By pulling a knife on it, you'll just cut an innocent body.
I think I should go. Nothing to be done here anyway.
You should go. Go then. Wherever you please. Shoo!
Hello, Mark.
When we do not find peace of mind in ourselves, it is useless to seek it elsewhere.
You're not allowed in here, Clara. You are an imposter and a changeling. Not allowed? Why? You're against the rules. I don't want you visiting the theater. It may be useful to you yet.
A man would rather say evil of himself than say nothing.
You're bothering me. I want to be alone. Bothering you? That's odd. Interesting. I wonder if I'll be locked out of the theater from now on. We're not supposed to be here. Now we can sleep at Big Lad's. Feels weird going there when we haven't met him yet, but... Though, to be fair, I should probably hunt. Hunting some criminals may be a very good move. Well, everyone saw that one coming.
Oh!
Hey dude, move out of the way. Hey, hey, hey. Wait, has the price already jumped? Yeah, it has. That sucks. Well, I should be more careful because if I'm not careful, I'll just kill myself after I heal myself.
I feel a current in my veins.
Hello, girl with the eyes that look like they're eager to take in the entire world. Who are you? An owner of a pair of healing hands. You can call me Clara. Why do I feel as though we have something in common? Something important that's hard to miss. As if we were siblings. But what is it? Then tell me, what is your purpose in life? I'd like to give the children a new life. And a new faith. Indeed, then you must be the Holy One. Then you too are prophetess and harbinger, and you're saying that you're going to gather a congregation and give them the light of a new truth? What truth will it be? Tell me, girl with the eyes out of which a dead woman is looking at me already. I'm not saying I want to start a church. I must have phrased it badly. You simply don't understand how good my intentions are. I know, sister. Don't be alarmed by the things I say. It's just what you're talking about is too dangerous. It's not to be toyed with, even if you're just children.
The winter comes soon, I hope.
Have you forgotten something? We've discussed all there was to discuss. I don't remember that. When was it? Just now, really. Okay, so it's almost 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. The morning of the second day has come. It all ends in less than 11 days. Day 2, in which the changeling discovers her judge skills, simultaneously confirming it into true faith. Oh, that's very funny. Okay, rude. Yippee! Damn, you have nothing. Oh. Let's see. Tell me, why would they call me a saint? I am the harbinger, the judge. I am one of the twin angels, the angel of righteousness no less, for there is no place within me where evil may hide. I will look them in the eye. I will set my hooks deep into them and pull out whatever sickness I find. I will unveil the embodiment of pestilence. But who was it that bestowed upon me the right to judge? Who gave me the freedom to choose who lives and who dies? Tell me. Then he let us... Nope, okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to Alexander because he is likely, honestly, our point man. At least in the beginning of this game, I feel like.
I have this flush. My cheeks are burning, aren't they?
Such a pretty girl you are. Charming. Why are your eyes like that? As though you were going to eat me.
My chest hurts. Can it be conscience?
I spent the night in thought and recollection, trying to trace the logic of the supernatural retribution that has befallen our community. It has been revealed to my wife that there is a creature among us who is to blame for all that is happening. I've gone through a list of possible suspects. I have it here in front of me. Every one of these people could turn out to be the criminal, the one that brought this disaster upon us. How did you pick those people? For years I have been keeping order in this town and looking out for possible criminals. I trust my clairvoyant wife's judgment. Even that trust, however, I would have thought duly impartial. But seeing my hypothesis confirmed by her rival mistresses. The rival mistresses have acknowledged it. Already. Scarlet Nina mentioned it long before her tragic demise. Victoria once said that an abyss were to open up one day and swallow our town. It would happen this way. Why do you need to know? So you used to check what Katerina said against their opinions. Are you afraid that she may be mistaken? I only want one thing, and that is justice. This is a case where we can dispense with evidence and trials. When the last dawn is rising above the world, it is time for arguments of a different nature. A trial resting on conscience and a verdict resting on faith. Find the culprit for us. It is why you've come into this world, and into our house, the house of the town's rules. But how am I supposed to do it, Father? I can call you that now. right? First of all, you must gain the trust of a person I believe to be the criminal responsible for this. Anyone would find the task complicated and demanding, except for you, since all you have to do is predict the slightest movement of their soul. Do something for them. Raise their spirits. Astonish them. Surely you can. Yes, people like me, and even the most hardened criminals trust me. But mere trust is not enough to get a criminal to make such a terrible and damning confession. Yes, you will lull them with your words. Then make them answer your questions and see if they are guilty. My wife is positive that My wife is positive that if you first win a person's favorable disposition, then astonish them, you will succeed. They will not be able to avoid your thrall, for you are destiny. That is true. Sometimes the precision of your decisions scares me, Father. I will trust you. All I want to know is who brought the deadly disease upon our homes and our heads. Even the barest of spacest of scoundrels will suffer nothing at my hands if they are not guilty of our current predicament. Who should I begin with? A mysterious creature named Aspedy. Aspedy, well, I'm sure be the best start. Children say she's an evil spirit. Simon didn't like her. That bitch has been called a walking plague even before this. I'm sure that woman, a man-eater and the spawn of the steppe, which is exactly what a Shabnak is a fitting description for her. How do I make her reveal herself after I've gained her trust? Who can tell me something about her that she'd be surprised to hear? Right. You don't know anyone here. The shortest way is via the Oglemytskys. Ask Vlad the Younger, Oglemytsky's son. Oglemytskys must have old scores settled with her. Besides, Vlad the Younger is knowledgeable about the legends and traditions of the steppe people. He will instruct you. Yes, Father. I'll do my duty. The hooks of Aspedy's heart are at Vlad the Younger's. My father is like an army commander who has gained an opportunity to break an enemy that has never before suffered defeat. He strikes with confidence now, and I am his most reliable emissary. He sent me to the messenger to Aspedes, that evil creature that may well be responsible for the pestilence itself. Oglemytskys son, Vlad the Younger, will advise me as the best way to approach her.
Who can take Simon's place? The town will inevitably change.
Let justice prevail, mercy to the innocent, a reckoning to the guilty. Maybe. Okay, let's go talk to Katarina.
I'm afraid I'm of little use now.
Now I shall speak to you of the higher causes of the unfolding disaster. Like roots, they are invisible to the eye. When one plucks a weed, one removes merely the consequence, not the underlying cause. You are the only one capable of a true victory, and that is why I'm going to tell you about the roots. So listen. I'm listening. These are our parties. The first thing, the original creation, was the earth, the ancient one, giving life to plants and animals. She begat the abattoir. She begat the kid. She gives and she takes. The deadly go into her, and everything ends with her. She is the inception and the completion. Such is the law. We, the Sabarovs, act in the interests of the law, of which everyone must abide. Ours is a faith of humility. A wise faith. A town sprang up upon the earth. A town of men was built upon her. The earth eternal, the giver of life, built by greed and creativity, by ingenuity and hard work. The abattoir found its continuation of the works and the railway. The hands of the Oklamiskis crafted an environment by which people could develop and reflect. Theirs is a faith of construction. Speak on! Finally, the minds of people desiring to overcome the limits for human beings set by their nature and condition engendered projects that were fantastic and audacious. That is how the party of creativity and invention emerged and flourished. The party of the kinds. Theirs is a faith of utopia, a belief in miracles, a belief in a non-existent place. Weird faith. I foresee myself knowing why this punishment has befallen us. The town lived, grew, developed, and finally tried to break free of its own limitations. The earth that had borne it hit it on its head, which has stuck out too far, much like a strict mother who would do any to her unthinking child. So this is the will of the earth? I believe it is the earth that wishes to return unto herself what has moved waywardly out of her reach. And before I explain to you the path that I am setting before you, I want to know for certain whether I have my dear child on my side. Yes, Katerina, I believe that our faith is the true one. You will speak to the bound to you about the truth of humility. You are to convince one of them, two of them, three of them, of the true faith's wisdom. Should some of them prove stubborn, you will use the powers that were granted to you by Providence itself. So be it. What am I to do now? You shall begin with Grace, the late cemetery caretaker's daughter. She is especially dear to me. With Grace, doesn't she sympathize with you? With us? I want to be certain of that. Make friends with her. Try to make her like you and grow an affection for you eventually. You don't need much for this. If you need to find out more about her, Lara Ravel is the person who will tell you all about Grace. She is as much of an angel as the kindness as the poor daughter of the caretaker. And her father had recently died too. I trust you, Katerina. What you're saying is true and wise. Katerina tells me that I could get the hooks for Grace from Lara. Interesting. It's about getting these hooks into people. That's like the focus. So we'll go here, and then go here. Grace. The husband carries the sword, and the wife brings the peace, just like a family in power should. Katerina has entrusted me with an errand. She doesn't want me to punish, but to pardon instead. The first person I need to take care of is Grace, the daughter of the cemetery keeper who I met yesterday. Lara Ravel would know how I could get Grace to like me.
My stomach hurts as if I was filled with straw.
Where am I going? Alright, so let's head to Lara. Nowhere is sick yet, I think. Is it day 3 that starts happening? I thought it was day 2, but maybe it's day 3 and then it's every day. It's all the time after that. Okay, well.
Seems like Ogimski's getting ready to face profiteering.
I've never seen you here before. Who have you come to visit? You, I suppose. You are Lara Ravel, right?
Dogs are howling. Why?
We'll prepare for the hard times. I hope they don't last long. Lara, tell me about Grace. You know her, don't you? What makes you think you do? You're both kind souls, almost blessed fools. Just like me, I suppose. I sense people who are like that. Why would you put it like that? A kind soul is not the same as a kind person. You're crafty after all. You seem to say perfectly good things, but you're actually quite backhanded. You've probably got something like that in store for Grace too, don't you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My words often come out bad. I'm bad at expressing how I feel. I barely know Grace. We haven't spoken a lot. Do you want to make friends with her? Of course I do. If you want to make a good impression on Grace, bring her some flowers, bread, and milk for the dead. She'll be elated and do anything for you. That's simple. And what do I give to Grace herself? She doesn't need anything. With people like Grace and me, it's the good done to one's neighbor that matters. I thought you understood that. I do. It's called selflessness. I only need to find a flower, some milk, and a loaf of bread. This will be enough to please Grace. So we have milk, so we need to get bread and a flower. I shouldn't have given those flowers to those kids. Then I would have been all set.
My heartbeat is uneven. I am sick at heart.
So you've come because you found what we were setting up a shelter? Do you want to take part? It's strictly private, though. I've never seen you before. Why? I do want to take part. Do I have to donate some money? No, you can't. The harpist wouldn't let me. I have a rule. Nobody is refused hospitality at this house, if they are an honest and honorable person. But the harpist says we can't abide by this rule in the time of epidemic, or our undertaking would be pointless. And who is that harpist? The harpist is a friend. Just a friend and nothing more. It's not like he gives me orders. But this time I am trusting his judgment. He is practical, strong-willed, and resolute. And I'm a bit of a gawk. I don't have guts either. That's why I listened to him on this. I'd like to help you too, but I'm not what you'd call practical. I'm not prepared to put you in charge of supplies for the House of the Living, but there is a way that you can help. The harpist has gone off to take a look at an empty house, and hasn't come back yet. If he's still there, tell him to come back as soon as possible. I can't keep up without him. And just that. Your trust seems easy to earn. Not as easy as all that. If you do a good deed seeking no gain, it will at least be clear that you're not the Shabdakadir. A demon cannot do good. Then I'll be able to rely on you instead of the bachelor, who I dislike. I feel like that he'll do with the money as he sees fit. We're less than humans as far as he's concerned. Won't it make him cross with me? It's up to you. Either you want to become a keeper of the House of the Living or you don't. I can't spend the money anyway without the harpist's approval. Fine. I'll find this harpist of yours. Lara Ravel took note of this house. That harpist of hers went there. The Living. Lara Ravel's associate went to investigate the dangerous house. What reason could that harpist have to go there? I hope he doesn't bring back something evil.
Seems like Ogimski's getting ready to face profiteering.
I'm tiny, which makes sense, because you can see her hands. Okay, so then we'll head here, Oh, maybe we'll come across a food store on our way. Which way is the correct way? This way. Alright. Oh, I think there's a food store down here. Let's see if we can get something. Get something over here. Bonk. Bread? Bread? May I have some bread? It is $11,000. But I have it, so what does it matter? Alright. So now I'm staying in this area. I don't need to go across that bridge. Okay, perfect. This is the house. Yes. Not on this side. Not here. Am I supposed to use a lockpick? Maybe? Well, turns out we can get infected immediately. Yippee! Alright. Talk to the harpist. If I could do things properly, that would help. Alright. Oy. Let's see, I don't really have anything to up my infection rate. Where is the harpist? Oh, hello! What unearthly apparition is this? I'm a harbinger. And why would you walk into a roomy place like this one? You can see people have nothing to do here. And yet you're here, stuck here for some reason. Have you been here long? I'm doing a civic duty here. My name is the Harpist, and I furnish the House of the Living. For now, I'm just watching. Look what happens when living matter comes in contact with these infection miasma. I know very well what happens. Let's go. Laura is worried about you. Oh, hi!
I'm tired. I've had enough.
What are you doing here? You've just been at Anna's place. Or are there several of you? Go to hell, you and your jokes. Get me out of here. The deed is done, and I am suspicious of the harpist, but I can't yet say whether he is guilty or not. I let him go for now, but I'll visit him again in a few days. In the meantime, I can return to Lara. I didn't get sick, right? Okay, good. Let's run up to Lara and see if we can close off this little quest. What time is it? It's 8 o'clock. We still have... We need to get a flower for Grace. We need to talk to younger Vlad. But let's up here. Let's just talk to Lara. Then we can just run down this way to Vlad the Younger. And then walk through the... Depends on what he has us do, but if he just gives us info for the Aspity, we can go right there. So we can walk through here to maybe pick up a flower. And then talk to Grace, talk to Aspity, and then, you know, continue from there. What's going on here? Alright. I do think that what is going on here is very interesting. I don't, you know, we only just started, so I don't know what to make of it just yet. It is interesting how kind of some of the general events are more similar to Bachelor Route than they are to Haruspecs at this current point. But maybe it's just because we're primarily focusing, because on this beginning stuff it is mostly Bachelor focused, like not Bachelor focused, but there's a different, Haruspecs is 100% focused on making sure he doesn't get killed by the people and getting his reputation up. That's kind of his initial stakes, comparatively, so.
Yes.
So is the harpist back? Yes. And that house, I take it, is really infected? It is infected, Lara. You're going to have to set up your shelter here. Here. Take it. I don't need it anymore. Yippee! I only need to find a flower some. Okay. Did I win Lara's favor? I don't know. Besides, I don't like the House of the Living at all. For some reason, I don't believe her plans can ever bear fruit.
Seems like Ogjimski's getting...
Okay. Alrighty, so make a save. So that is where I'm going to leave it for today. Next time we will work on the main quest and do the Grace quest. I mean, I guess the plan for next episode is to do to finish off day 2. So we have already finished a quest. I'm not quite sure. Because I know usually, I mean, I know some of the busier days will have like 3 to 4 quests, side quest, like 3 to 4 quests total. So like we already have this one. The Lara one was really quick. But we'll see what happens next and what kind of unravels from here. I feel like I'm interested in learning what the changelings initial kind of arc consists of, before we kind of get into the later half, which is very much like, you know, in the Haruspecs and Bachelor, it turned into a different type of thing, because at first they're just looking at short-term solutions and then they're looking at major solutions. Though admittedly, I feel like Changeling's route's probably going to be that way too, honestly speaking, so I'm not really worried about it, honestly. But we will see. What else? Well, there's nothing else much for now. We've only just gotten started, and we're still playing around with what is available to us. It's probably going to get more serious as the stakes continue to grow. And so yeah, so I'll see you guys next time to finish off day 2. Yeah, to do day 2, really. So I will see you guys then, and I hope you guys have a great one. Bye!